Hey, what's up, everybody? Video 44 coming at you with another video. All right, so the score was 107-98. The Lakers got the win at home against the Portland Trail Blazers. And defense is where we'll start this conversation because the Lakers had 14 steals, forcing 18 turnovers. So that'll let you know just about every turnover Portland had was us playing defense, taking the ball from them. And that also led to 26 points that the Portland Trailblazers gave up off of those turnovers. So we really liked that. We had 11 turnovers on the night, not bad. Got to give credit to the players. You know, the Lakers really showed up, man. Without Braun, without Austin, we had three guys really have massive games. Talking about Anthony Davis with, I believe, 30 points, 5 blocks. I think he had like 10 or 11 boards. I don't remember exactly how many boards. I thought our coach left him on the floor a little too long, even though we were able to get away with it. But once you start getting to a point where you're having a 15-point lead on a tanking team with like 5 minutes to go, I really need Anthony Davis off the floor. I need that to be the case right there. Because I've seen in this life a couple times where guys have gotten hurt in those situations, and you never forgive your coach for that. It's something that you want your coach to be extra cautious about. Too much of our franchise is leaning on our stars. We cannot do stupid crap like that just because we're desperate to get a win. You got to know when you have the win. And in that situation, I thought JJ Redick did an awful job getting Anthony Davis off the floor and left him down there to potentially get hurt, for which we would have had a hard time with. So that's something I'm happy we won, but there was a good 2 or 3 minutes where I was incredibly uncomfortable because of that. So I have to put that in the video. But all in all, I thought we played great. Rui Hachimura is fantastic, had 4 steals. What was it? I don't remember exactly how many points he had, but he went off scoring the ball, efficient as he had been over the last several games. He didn't slow down at all with his efficiency. Definitely happy with Rui Hachimura. I wish I remember what his stats was right now, but somewhere in the 20 range, 28 points, something like that. He really did shoot the ball pretty well. Actually, no, it was D'Lo who had 28 and 14 assists, by the way. Had 5 threes hit on the night, plus 29 from the in this plus minus. So you got to give credit to D'Lo. I think he'll be the one that gets the game ball for me tonight with just how well he ran the offense in that second half. He got himself going. He got others going. Rhythm plays, momentum plays, all over the floor. I really love what I saw from D'Angelo Russell without Braun on the floor. He gave him an opportunity to run the offense, and he looked like old D'Lo from Ohio State. That's who showed up tonight, Ohio State D'Lo. And it was exciting to see, man. I think we're starting to get to a point where it's like some guys mentally just need Braun off the floor, if I'm being completely honest with you. That's really what comes to mind. They can't play that well with Braun on the floor. And for D'Lo, I think it's mental. I don't think it has anything to do with his capability. He can't get in that type of rhythm, controlling the ball and getting others involved unless Braun is not on the floor. That's what I'm gathering. Because he looked like himself from the Brooklyn Nets. Remember All-Star D'Lo Russell? This is who showed up tonight. And I think the difference is a consistent giving him the ball and letting him run the offense. When he runs the offense, he gets others involved. He gets his shots up. And going up against a team that didn't have great lengthy defenders on him, not really overly talented defenders who take the ball from him, you just saw him shine against a bad team. I mean, this is like your quintessential opportunity for D'Lo to shine, and he did. And fed off the energy of the crowd. And that's really what it's about, a heavy dose of consistent D'Lo touches that allow for him to run his pace and get the ball around where he sees fit and just orchestrate the way that he's probably supposed to be doing. So this was the D'Lo we hope to see more of, but we know we won't, because he can only do this when Braun ain't on the floor, and Braun's only missed 1 game this season, this game. So that's what I gathered from it. It's all mental, and it was great to see him go off tonight. Happy to give him the game ball. So I think there were some other players that really need to get some shine there. I think Cam Reddish really played well. I think he walked away with maybe like 6 points, 4 assists, 5 boards, or something like that. Really nice game from Cam Reddish. Good plus minus. I like the passes that he made tonight. I like how he got open in certain situations, moving without the ball. He just really played a good all-around game. You don't expect for him to get too many points anyway, so it's not like you're judging him for that. But the things that you want him to do, I think he really did good tonight. This was one of his better games this season. Max Christie had some good moments as well. Didn't really score a whole lot, but, did things defensively. Hit a 3 or 2. His 3 ball starting to fall, by the way. I mentioned that in the pregame video, and he hit one tonight. Not bad on the defensive end, helped us. And Gabe Vincent had about 3 steals tonight. I think he got the start, if I'm not mistaken. And even though he had about 3 turnovers or something like that, I thought his defense was really good. You got good stuff out of your defensive players tonight, and I think that's what tells the story. We have more of our defensive talent on the floor, and as a result, you had what was considered a better defensive game. And that's what I saw, to be honest with you. Just better defensive players on the floor more of the majority of the time. So, yeah, man, I think this is a pretty good game. We still got crashed on the boards. We were -8 on the glass, gave up another double-digit offensive rebound night. Although against the Portland Trail Blazers, you probably expect that since they're the 6th overall best offensive rebounding team in the league. But, it's a consistent thing for our Lakers to give up double-digit offensive rebounds, not rebound the 3 ball very well, things like that carried over into tonight. But I really think that just at the end of the day, this team breathed a sigh of relief without 2 ball-dominant players down there taking rhythm plays away from other guys. You don't have Austin down there. You don't have Braun out there, which means the ball is in D'Lo's hands consistently, and other guys get a chance to playmate. Cam Reddish showed some playmaking ability tonight, and Rui Hachimura got consistent touches for which he's been extremely efficient for probably about a week and a half now. Not getting enough looks. Was a bit disappointed with Dalton Connect. He really had a poor shooting night tonight. I don't remember much of what he did on the floor. They had some bad fouls. This is just not a good stretch for him. He's in a slump, and he's not really contributing. So I'm a little disappointed in how he's looking right now. But aside from that, I just really love what I saw from those guys, man. Anthony Davis held it down, 5 blocks in the first half, 30 points, I believe it was, on the night. He's been asked to complete plays down the stretch of the shot clock a lot over the last several games. Shot clock situations have been a thing for us, and we end up getting him the ball with the buzzer. And he's been hitting shots, and he had one of those tonight. Hit a straightaway 3-point shot that I thought was pretty eye-opening, and that's something that came to mind right away. Some fantastic plays just all the way around, and the efficiency of Rui Hachimura just really needs to be considered, man. I think he was 19 of 12 from the field, I believe it was 19 of 12, something like that, 4 steals. So not 19 of 12, 9 of 12, excuse me, but you just got to give credit to the guy. He's been efficient as they come, man. This reminds me of how good he looked against the Memphis Grizzlies when the first year we got him in the playoffs. He just couldn't miss a shot, and you just wanted us to get his efficiency, his minutes up to match the efficiency, and the Lakers just didn't. And this has been a theme with Rui. I just think he's severely underutilized. Per shot, he hits a lot of shots, so it stands to reasons why you would give him more attempts. His efficiency is probably as good as anybody on this team, pretty much consistently. He has a bad game here and there shooting the ball, but he's an extremely above average efficient player, and I've been calling for us to get him more looks. And I think that we saw what he can do when he's just given an opportunity to get a healthy dose of looks. So it worked very well tonight, and I would hope that we would see the fruit in trying to get him more involved in the offense from here on out. Stop underutilizing Rui, man. He's one of those guys where you're going to trade him somewhere to a team that gives him 12 shots a night, and you're going to find out he's a 20-point scorer. That's what you're going to find out. We are underutilizing this player, and I cannot stress that enough. So that's something that needs to be said and understood. But all in all, this was a good team win, man. Got a chance to see some Bronny. Got a chance to see some Quincy Olivari. Love to see that. Bronny was awful, by the way, in the minutes given. I don't know what he was doing, passing the ball to Max Lewis without him even looking. I don't know what that kid's doing. What I think happens with Bronny James, truthfully, is it's hard for him to settle in because the momentum of the crowd is always so hype when he gets the ball. He feels like he has to rush into shooting. He needs to rush into being aggressive to make the crowd happy, and that's like literally 100% of the time when he gets on the floor. I wish the crowd would like just shut up and let him play so he can find himself out there without their momentum trying to ask him to do so much, because that's really what it is. It's like all eyes on him, and he's not an aggressive player by nature. He's a defensive player that looks to be a facilitating piece, so that when he gets the ball he feels he has to go. Is him playing outside of his game. That hype needs to die down. The Lakers fans, especially, if it's happening on the road, cool. But our fans need to just let that kid be. When he gets in the game, let him play, man. Stop putting this super Lonzo Ball like momentum around him, because it's distracting the kid and it's making him worse every single time. And that's what I'm starting to realize. So yeah, man. Shame on everybody who just overhypes this player. Honestly, I know he's LeBron's son, but he has a certain type of game, man. And what you're asking him to be is not what he is. And he's trying to be that for you, and it's making him bad out there. That's just what it is. So yeah, I felt like that was something that needs to be said as well. Another thing that really needs to be said is Portland never ask another team to give you 2 first-round picks for Jeremy Grant. That man was 1 for 12 tonight. He had like 3 points, 4 boards. Never again. Never again. If you're not going to come down on that price tag for that awful contract on this player, do not put him on the trade block. Because right now, with the performance we saw from him tonight, I wouldn't give up 2 second-round picks for him, dude. I wouldn't give up 1 second-round pick for what he provided his team tonight. He was awful. And I'm cool. Rui thoroughly outplayed him tonight. And that Christian Coloco outplayed him tonight. Let's just be honest. No is the answer to Jeremy Grant. 19 boards for DeAndre Ayton. I thought we gave up a lot of boards to him. Some of them were off of, as Stu Lance said, Anthony Davis trying to, defend people who were shooting the ball. And as a result, he would be in position to get a lot of rebounds. But it does need to be said that he had 19 boards, 14 points. Thought he played a pretty good game. Shaedon Sharpe, I think, walked away with like 17 points. He had a pretty good game. And Scoot Henderson played pretty well off the bench in double digits, I believe it was. So it wasn't all bad for Portland, but it was mostly bad for Portland. It's not a good basketball team. Denny Avdija had some nice moments out there, as I pretty much predicted he would. He's a good player. But they're just all stuck on a tanking team, and they're really playing the role. So yeah, that's a bad team, man. Really bad third quarter they had. Some long stretches where we were able to eat, even though we weren't playing that great as a team. Yeah, it was what it was. But yeah, Jeremy Grant, that 2 first-round pick price tag, he shot that all in the foot today. And if we were to do that, I would immediately call for whoever's job went for that trade. Anybody, not just the Lakers. Anybody that gives up 2 first-round picks for Jeremy Grant needs to be fired right away. So that's what needs to be said there. So yeah, man, that's pretty much my thought on this game. I wish I remember what Rui's stats were. I mean, his numbers, somewhere in the 20-something point range. He deserves more remembrance than that. But I do know he had them 4 steals, and I don't know if that's his career high, but I don't remember a time him getting more steals than that. Definitely like the steals up and down from all the players on this team that got steals that ultimately made it so that we forced those turnovers against this team. 7 blocks as a team also. 5 of them go to Anthony Davis, of course. 1 of them, I think, went to Bronny James. So, that's noteworthy as well. And, yeah, happy to have gotten this victory. I think we shot above, I think we were like 38% from the 3, 40-something% from the field. I don't exactly remember, but the high 38, 30, somewhere around there, 38, 39 from behind arc. So that's pretty good. 36 attempts. So yeah, man, I mean, all things considered, I just thought that we were okay. And we beat a really bad team. That's what it really came down to. A big game from D'Lo. Obviously getting the huge assists and the 28 points and the 5 threes. Gotta love that. And that stands out for me on the night. So that's pretty much what it is, man. We're looking forward to this 5 nights off, rather. We will be back on Friday night for a road game against the Minnesota Timberwolves, of whom we last saw, and I think we lost by either 27 or 29 points last week against that team before flying into Miami and going down by 41 to the Heat. So, we owe the Minnesota Timberwolves a legitimate basketball game. That's what it really comes down to. We came in playing our worst, and I think we'll have a much better basketball game when our team is rested. At the end of the week, Austin will be back. I'm sure Bron will be back. Everybody that should be eligible to play will be available. I hope that we can get Jackson Hayes back on the floor by Friday, but no guarantee there. And so, this should be a good week for those guys to get some rest, maybe have a couple practices, lick their wounds before getting on that flight to Minnesota, because we have had a horribly long and rough stretch over the last month. And this break is much needed, I think, for everybody, really. We could all use it. Give us a chance to miss our team. I'm sure by Friday we'll be ready to go. So, yeah, man, that's really what it is. Very memorable night for D'Lo tonight. Good defensive night to take into this 5 days off. We got good things to think about in regards to how we approach this basketball game from a defensive standpoint. And as I said, I think a lot of it had to do with just better defensive players on the floor majority of the time. You can see what your team looks like when you shift away from certain things. And we have a heavy dose of Austin, a heavy dose of Bron all the time. And so we kind of live and die with what they bring to the table. And when you remove those guys, for better or for worse, you start seeing other opportunities given to other people, and it changes the dynamic of your basketball team. And I think that's what this story was tonight. You remove some mainstays that dominate the ball, tend to not play much defense, tend to turn the ball over, stuff like that, and you put the ball in guys' hands more than would ever be expected, and they did what they would do if they were asked to do it more. So, yeah, man, that's what it is. I think we learned some things about this team tonight. And even though we were playing against a poor Portland team, I really like what I saw defensively. I like that we've got so many steals that led to so many turnovers. The differential between us forcing turnovers and the turnovers they provided was really, really good. So that's something that will stand out for me personally. And hopefully we'll have some good news on Friday about health, and that's pretty much what it is, man. That's where we're at. Congratulations, D'Lo, getting the game ball, but I'm looking forward to these 5 days off. BDL 44. I thank y'all for watching. I'm out.